Hello, 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 and welcome to another Tribe 9 YouTube video about tension cards. This is part 5 of a very long series of videos where we will be ranking each and every one of them based on how useful they are on their own or synergistically. Thanks a lot for dropping by. I am Said Flame, joined with...
Georgie, the one and only, was goody.
Let's do this. Alright, so Perfect Secretary. Increase the resistance of shield granted by 3.6%. When there's an enemy granted control, there will be 2 times effectiveness. Okay, so this makes shields better, but, and if there's control, they're a little bit better. This is a safety net card. I'll give it a D tier.
Ooh, I
Like, mid D.
mid D, yeah. It's nice. You can get your shields gain more, but realistically speaking, I don't know. It just doesn't do anything else. It's just there to sustain. So yeah, a
Yeah.
mid D is good. It's not the complete worst. I can see the use. It can be good.
It's not a
Just
very attractive card in my opinion.
yeah, it's not an attractive card until we get more shielders.
Alright, moving along.
Karma of the Pledge. Tension 2 card. When taking damage from an enemy, increase strategy skill damage multiplier by 6.3% for 5 seconds, scaling upwards. If taking damage from an enemy while under Unity, there will be a 2 times effectiveness. This card, in my personal opinion, can be really good. The problem is it's a Tension 2 card, which I mean you can trigger it, but you have to get hit as well. However, this is, I would say, really focused on people who use strategy skills a lot. And
Who uses a strategy skill that wants to get hit though?
that's a good question. I mean, there are some options, the one and only Yo. We have Q. There are people who really like getting hit and then pumping out damage.
Q and
But
Yo, in my opinion, do not like getting hit.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But they can
Unless you
still be
build
abused.
defense on them, maybe you take a hit on purpose in order to increase your DPS.
True. True, true, true.
And under Unity,
Well,
the effect is twice as effective. So, honestly, this card, Attention 2 though.
yeah.
Tension 2 is what's breaking it for me.
Yeah, Tension 2 is kind of like the deal breaker. Even though you can realistically get Tension 2 pretty easily, it's still combined it with other Unity cards, right? Who are in theory just less cost. It just kinda falls off. There are people who can use this. They're like realistically speaking, but I would still put it at a C tier for me.
C? I'd put it in high D. Let's agree to put it
High
low
D.
C.
Low C. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with low C.
Lower than cross counterattack.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
defo.
Alright, moving along. The Tearing Flash. When a secondary attack hits, increases secondary attack damage multiplier by a percentage that scales. Based on the stacks of Reconstruct, further increase secondary attack damage multiplier by 0.1% for each stack. Now this card, Attention 2, who spams secondary attacks? Maybe Senju.
Senju?
Senju
Yeah,
wants to spam secondary.
Senju, Miyu. Miyu like spamming in secondary if you're manually playing her, of course. And Aryo, the one and only. Just saying.
Yeah, Yo does
likes-
secondaries about half the time, but it's still quite useful. Although his secondary doesn't do most of the damage. Most of the damage from Yo is from his
strategy
his
skill,
finisher, his
after all.
strategy skill.
Yeah, his skill, yeah. But okay, the card itself though, it's not bad, but again, Tension 2, even though it can be easily obtained, it kind of doesn't really hit it for me that much. Of course,
Yeah.
right? You can, if you just secondary spam on your units, you can get something popping off, but I would still put it at a C. I don't think it's D. I don't think it's bad because it doesn't have a condition of like Karma of the Pledge getting hit, right? It's just
Mhm.
you just have to hit your attack on him, your secondary attack on it.
So in the
So,
C tier,
mhm,
but where exactly in C tier would you put it? Maybe
mhm,
lowest or maybe a
I,
little bit higher than cross counter?
I think it's a little bit higher than cross counter. It's not
Okay.
horrible. It just it gives you a multiplier where you don't have to do anything for. And if you build it around with reconstruct um cards, it can be really good.
Okay, let's move along then. Go right ahead.
Filthy rich guy. Ah, of course, that's me all day, every day. Mm-mm-mm. An attention to card when dealing damage to enemy increase critical hit rate by 3.6% for 3 seconds. When the effect is active based on the stacks of Novelist Obligation, further increase critical rate by 0.9% scaling for each stack. This card, it's attention to card, which is kinda annoying, is really good. This card is really good. You have to
Indeed.
because you always be dealing damage to the enemy. You always be dealing damage to the enemy. That's just a flat out just increase to your damage because it increases your crit rate, and then you can crit more. And wow, who doesn't love critting? And then, of course, noble obligation, when other party enemies get the buff, deal damage to the enemy, you get a stack. Which is just AG coded. And hey, look at that, as the same guy who's on the card.
Mm-hmm.
So I give this personally, even though it's just AG coded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this he is one of the only ones that gives a buff, right? Is to be fair, for me, I would give it a mid B, low B ranking.
I'll put it right next to the other AG coded card in the low B rank.
AG
just
is just AG
just
is
to
just
be
a
on
B rank
flavor.
character. Beyond, yeah, he's just that guy.
He's that guy.
Mm-mm-mm.
Alright, moving along to Quiet Heavy Tank. Decrease the enemy's attack points by 2.7% when the enemy is under disorder, based on the stacks of disorder. Further decrease the enemy's attack point by 8.18 for each stack. So, it's an EX card, and it's defensive. Absolutely trash. D tier, low.
E tier. No, that's just no saving that one. That's just no saving that one.
There's no saving that one. I'm sorry. It's low D tier. Lower than Geo's card, but not as bad as the other one.
Do you think the six will ever get out of this? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh well. Up to the next one. Pulsating Life. Attention to card. Increase ultimate skill damage multiplier by 5.4%. When a character is granted clinical, increase the ultimate skill damage multiplier by 5%, scaling for 10 seconds. This
Ooh, this is
for
sexy.
this
This
is
is good.
sexy.
Yeah.
And you just get a healer on top of it because clinical is just a healer in respectively. I mean, realistically, what else? Let's look at clinical actually. Do we have we have one card for clinical, which is stimulation.
All right, let's look at
So
what stimulation does real quick before we
yes.
choose to
Mm-hmm.
go. When granting recovery, grant the character who has been granted recovery clinical. So the person who gets clinical is the person who grants recovery. It does no, but it increases ultimate skill damage for everyone.
Oh, but yeah, it does. It does. It does.
So
However,
essentially,
Richie,
as long as you have Koishi on the team and the other card, you're golden. It's
you're
pretty
golden,
good.
yes.
I'd say it's easily a B tiered card.
It's yeah, it's actually a B tier card. The thing is, right? Again, the big threat. What I'm seeing, right, is attention to card again, but that doesn't make it bad in this scenario. You just want to proc it before you actually pop your ult, which will always happen realistically, right? Because the moment you hit tension 2. So I would put this mid B. I
Mm-hmm.
can't give it a high B because of the tension 2, of course, but
Mid
mid B
to
I think
high
is
B.
mid
A little bit higher than Rebuke in my opinion. A little bit more
yeah,
useful.
yeah. I mean, a bit more so, yes.
All right.
Mm.
Let's move right along to the next tension card.
Unpredictable Bomb Girl. Tension EX. When the operating character hits an enemy with a strategy skill, increase the operating character's strategy skill damage multiplier by 6.3% scaling. If the operating character is granted Disorder, based on the stack of Disorder, further increase strategy skill damage multiplier by 0.21%, scaling for each stack. The big turnoff for me is that it's EX. But this is actually a pretty good one if you just did not have to, be EX to pop this off. And
I
we had
fully agree with you.
uh,
EX is terrible.
EX. EX is terrible, but there's so many people who can use this to their benefit. It's actually insane if it just wasn't EX. I
Hmm.
have to give it sadly, unless we get a fix for, the tension, the not being EX or something with it. I will put this currently at C tier.
C
Because this
tier,
this
I'd say even like because it's EX, just because it's EX, low C,
low
like
C.
very low C.
I can't give low C because this is a really good one, even if it has EX. Because this could easily be an A tier. I would even contemplate a S tier card if just we could do something about it being EX.
Okay, let's leave it in the low C for now.
We'll leave it in low C for now. Yeah,
Low
I
C,
can
not
agree
the
with
lowest of the C, but still pretty low C. Moving on to Unyielding Negotiation Skills. When a secondary attack hits, increases secondary attack damage multiplier by 2.7%. When attacking an enemy under control, increases primary attack damage multiplier by 2.7%. This is Gotanda coded.
that. Thunder
Uh,
coded.
very
But does
Gotanda coded, but it's
mm,
actually good. It only requires 2 tension. It's not an EX card. Pretty good.
yeah, it's pretty good. And plus you can also use it on Yo if you think about it.
Indeed, you can use it on Yo, you can use
Mm,
it on Gotanda, you can use it on Mew, you can use it on a lot of other characters too. It's quite
yeah,
versatile.
it's versatile.
Compared to all the trash we've seen so far, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
I'm
You
putting
should have.
this in, I'd say high B.
I can agree with high B. I would even say low A.
Low A? Let's go with
Low
low A.
A.
We don't have any cards in A anyway. Like we need to give it some love.
We need to get a couple out there. Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with this.
I completely agree. Let's continue.
Hope.
Final card in the roster of tier 2
Ooh.
cards. Let's go.
When a secondary attack is executed, increase the damage multiplier of the next strategy skill by 8.1%. And that scales upwards. Again, the EX, I don't like it. I don't like it. The EX number. If the secondary attack is executed while granted unity, this will be 2 times effectiveness. This card can be really good, but the EX tag on it is just not doing it for me.
And it's just a
It's just
Yo card. It's Yo coded.
it is yo coded. I you hate to see it. You hate to see it. This is
A
a
high D.
high. Okay, I
High
wouldn't
D
give it a
because of
high
the
D.
EX.
I can't give it a high D. I would give it a low C under Inoki.
Under Inoki?
Yeah, under unpredictable bomb girl. Unpredictable bomb girl.
Oh, okay,
Cause
yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, yeah. I had to be more specific, but that's my apologies for that.
No worries.
But yeah, the EXs, man, the EXs.
Alright, so that wraps it up for this video. I thank you all for dropping by. I'm Said Flame, joined with...
Gorgine, the one and only. What's goody?
Thank you very much for watching the entire video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace!
Ciao, ciao.